the most dangerous garden plants you should never plant. Welcome to Seniors Gardening Advice, and those gorgeous plants at your local garden center might be planning to destroy your home, poison your family, and drain your bank account. That beautiful flowering vine could literally eat your house. That innocent-looking herb could take over your entire neighborhood. And some of these plants are so toxic they could put you in the hospital just from touching them. Right here on Seniors Gardening Advice, we keep you safe from costly gardening mistakes. If you want to protect your property and your loved ones, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications now. Trust me, the next few minutes could save you thousands of dollars and maybe even your life. These aren't just bad plant choices. These are disasters hiding in pretty packages. And some of them are probably growing within walking distance of your house right this minute. Let's count down the 18 plants that look like garden treasures, but are actually garden terrors.
Number 18, Castor Bean, the beautiful killer. Starting with the most dangerous plant you can legally buy at most garden stores. Castor bean looks like something from a tropical paradise with those massive palm-shaped leaves and colorful seed pods. It grows fast, creates instant privacy, and gives your garden that exotic vacation feeling. But here's what makes this plant absolutely terrifying. Those pretty seeds contain ricin, one of the deadliest natural poisons on Earth. Just chewing on 1 or 2 seeds can kill a grown adult. There's no cure, no antidote, nothing doctors can do once you've been poisoned. The scary part? Kids love those colorful seeds. They look like decorative beads or marbles. Pet owners have lost dogs and cats who found fallen seeds in the yard. Even touching the seeds and then touching your mouth or eyes can make you seriously sick. This plant is so dangerous that law enforcement actually monitors who buys large quantities because criminals have used ricin for poisoning people. Growing castor beans near schools, playgrounds, or anywhere children visit is incredibly reckless. Make sure you like this video if you're learning something important and share it with other gardeners who need to know about these dangers.
Number 17. Japanese knotweed, the mortgage killer. Banks in the UK actually refuse to give home loans for properties with this plant. Let that sink in. It's so destructive that financial institutions consider it too risky to touch. Japanese knotweed looks harmless enough. Tall stems like bamboo, heart-shaped leaves, small white flowers. Some people even eat the young shoots because they taste like rhubarb. But underground, this plant is an absolute monster. The root system spreads 20 feet in every direction and goes 10 feet deep. These roots are so strong they crack concrete foundations, burst water pipes, and push through driveways like they're made of paper. Even a tiny piece of root smaller than your fingernail can grow into a huge colony. This plant can actually grow through floor cracks and pop up inside your house. Professional removal in the UK costs between £10,000 and £20,000 and requires specialized contractors with special insurance. Many homes become impossible to sell. If you find Japanese knotweed on your property, you're legally required to tell potential buyers in many places. Failing to mention it can result in expensive lawsuits. Entire neighborhoods have seen their property values destroyed by this single plant.
Number 16, giant hogweed, the plant that blinds. Some states made this plant illegal to grow because it's so dangerous. Giant hogweed can literally blind you or leave you with permanent scars that look like severe burns. It's actually quite beautiful, growing up to 14 feet tall with the enormous white flower clusters that look like something from a fairy tale. Some people have mistakenly harvested it for dried flower arrangements, not knowing they were handling a chemical weapon. The clear sap contains compounds that, when combined with sunlight, cause severe chemical burns. We're talking about third-degree burns that need skin grafts. If the sap gets in your eyes, it can cause permanent blindness. Even brushing against the plant while wearing shorts can leave you scarred for life. Hospitals have special procedures for treating hogweed burns because they're so distinctive and severe. The plant spreads quickly along streams and roadsides. Many cities have special teams just for removing hogweed because it's considered a public safety threat. Don't forget to subscribe to Seniors Gardening Advice and ring that notification bell. We're helping gardeners stay safe and make smart choices.
Number 15. Foxglove, the cottage garden killer. These elegant flowers are staples of English cottage gardens. Those tall spikes of tubular flowers in purple, pink, white, and yellow look sophisticated and classic. They seem perfect for any traditional garden design. But every single part of foxglove contains digitalis, the same compound used in heart medications. The difference between a helpful dose and a deadly dose is extremely small. Children are especially at risk because the flowers look inviting and colorful. Adults have been poisoned by mistaking foxglove leaves for other herbs when cooking. The poisoning affects your heart rhythm and can cause seizures, unconsciousness, and death. There's no specific cure, and treatment requires constant heart monitoring in the hospital. The plants spread by dropping seeds everywhere, popping up in unexpected places where people might accidentally touch them or children might play near them. The legal responsibility of growing something this toxic on your property is enormous.
Number 14. Chinese and Japanese Wisteria, the beautiful destroyer. Possibly the most gorgeous plant that will destroy your property. The more beautiful it gets, the more damage it's causing to your home. Wisteria produces absolutely stunning hanging clusters of fragrant flowers in purple, white, or pink. Those dramatic draping vines look like something from a romantic movie. They create instant beauty and that elegant, old-world charm everyone wants. But those beautiful vines are incredibly strong and aggressive. They can strangle and kill mature trees by wrapping around their trunks like a boa constrictor. The twisting growth destroys fences, pulls down gutters, and damages roof structures. Wisteria vines can grow as thick as tree trunks and have enough strength to crush whatever they're climbing on. Structural damage from wisteria can cost tens of thousands of dollars to repair. The vines also spread underground and can appear dozens of feet from where you originally planted them. Professional removal often requires tree removal services and can be extremely expensive. American wisteria is a much safer native option that provides beauty without the destruction. Please share this video with friends and family who love gardening. This information could save them from expensive mistakes. Number 13. Purple loosestrife, the wetland destroyer. Those beautiful purple flower spikes look perfect for cottage gardens and seem ideal for wet areas where other plants struggle. Purple loosestrife produces gorgeous magenta flowers that bloom for months and attract butterflies. But this plant is an ecological nightmare. A single plant can produce over 2 million seeds every year, and it spreads through both seeds and aggressive underground runners. It quickly takes over wetland areas, pushing out native plants that waterfowl and other wildlife need for food. Entire marshes can become purple loosestrife monocultures, destroying habitat for dozens of species. The ecological damage is so severe that government agencies spend millions of dollars every year trying to control it. It's illegal to sell, transport, or plant purple loosestrife in many states. Property owners near protected wetlands can face significant fines and mandatory removal orders if this plant is found on their land.
Number 12. Tree of Heaven, the toxic spreader. Despite its heavenly name, this tree comes straight from plant hell. It's toxic, invasive, and nearly impossible to kill once it gets established on your property. Tree of Heaven grows quickly in poor soil, provides fast shade, and can reach impressive heights. Some people appreciate its tropical-looking compound leaves and how quickly it establishes itself when you need fast coverage. But this tree releases toxic chemicals into the soil that poison the ground, preventing other plants from growing nearby. The roots are incredibly destructive to foundations, sidewalks, and sewer lines. When you cut it down, it releases a terrible smell and actually grows back even more aggressively from the root system. Each tree can produce over 300,000 seeds every single year. Tree of Heaven is also the favorite host plant for spotted lanternfly, an invasive pest that's causing millions of dollars in agricultural damage across the country. Removal requires cutting and immediately treating the stumps with strong herbicides, often multiple times. Many cities classify it as a harmful weed with mandatory removal requirements and fines if you don't comply.
Number 11. Autumn olive, the government mistake. This plant was actually promoted by government agencies for wildlife habitat. The USDA even paid farmers to plant it in the 1960s. So what could possibly go wrong with a government-recommended plant? Autumn olive produces fragrant flowers, attracts birds with its red berries, grows in poor soil, and was promoted for preventing erosion and feeding wildlife. It seemed like the perfect multi-purpose plant. But those birds spread the seeds everywhere, and autumn olive quickly escaped cultivation to invade forests, prairies, and natural areas. It leafs out earlier than native plants, giving it an unfair competitive advantage, and can form dense thickets that block sunlight from native vegetation. Each plant can live over 80 years and produce fruit for decades. The same government agencies that once promoted it now spend millions of dollars trying to control it. It's classified as a harmful weed in several states. Removal requires persistent cutting and herbicide treatment, and land managers report it as one of their most challenging invasive species to control. Remember to like this video if it's helping you avoid costly gardening mistakes, and don't forget to subscribe to Seniors Gardening Advice for more money-saving tips.
Number 10. Butterfly bush, non-native varieties, the false friend. This plant is particularly sneaky because it seems environmentally friendly, but it's actually harming the butterflies it's supposed to help. Butterfly bush produces long, fragrant flower spikes that attract butterflies and other pollinators. It's drought-tolerant, easy to grow, and seems like the perfect plant for anyone wanting to support wildlife and create a pollinator garden. While adult butterflies do visit for nectar, butterfly bush doesn't support butterfly reproduction because the caterpillars can't eat the leaves. Meanwhile, it spreads aggressively by seed, invading natural areas and displacing native plants that butterfly caterpillars actually need to survive. It's like offering candy to children while taking away all their nutritious meals. Several states now classify butterfly bush as invasive, and it's banned for sale in Oregon. Conservationists argue that planting it actually harms butterfly populations by reducing native plant habitat. Many nurseries now only sell sterile varieties to prevent the spread problem, but these still don't provide the caterpillar food that butterflies really need.
Number 9. Norway maple, the false native. This tree is so common in suburban neighborhoods that many people assume it's native to North America. This assumption is costing our forests dearly. Norway maples are beautiful shade trees with dense foliage, brilliant fall colors, and tolerance for urban conditions. They're widely planted as street trees and landscape specimens because they grow faster than native maples and seem like the perfect shade solution. But their extremely dense shade prevents anything from growing underneath them, including native wildflowers that forest ecosystems depend on. They produce abundant seedlings that invade natural forest areas, gradually replacing native sugar maples and other indigenous trees. The deep shade they cast creates biological deserts underneath, where nothing can survive. Forest managers consider Norway maple one of the most serious threats to eastern North American forests. Some cities have stopped planting them, and several states classify them as invasive species. Removal of large specimens is expensive, and their prolific seeding means constant management is required to prevent forest invasion.
Number 8. Mint planted directly in ground, the innocent invader. Yes, that innocent herb you use in mojitos in tea can become a complete garden nightmare if you plant it wrong. Mint seems completely harmless. It's just an herb, right? It smells wonderful, attracts beneficial insects, and having fresh mint for cooking and drinks seems like a no-brainer for any herb garden. But mint spreads through aggressive underground runners called stolons that can travel several feet in a single growing season. It quickly escapes its designated area and invades flower beds, lawns, and even neighboring properties. Even a tiny piece of root left behind after trying to remove it will regenerate into a full plant. Once mint escapes containment, it's incredibly difficult to completely eradicate. It can take years of persistent digging and herbicide treatment. Many gardeners report mint taking over their entire vegetable gardens, forcing them to relocate their growing areas. The solution is simple but crucial. Always grow mint in containers. Never give it free rein in open soil. Share this video with fellow gardeners. They need to know about these common mistakes before it's too late.
Number 7. Kudzu, the vine that ate the South. Known as the vine that ate the South, and that nickname is not an exaggeration. This plant literally consumes entire landscapes, and it's spreading beyond the South now. Kudzu was actually introduced as an ornamental plant and later promoted by the government for erosion control. It grows incredibly fast, has attractive leaves, and produces fragrant purple flowers that smell like grape soda. But kudzu can grow up to 1 foot per day in ideal conditions. It smothers everything in its path: trees, buildings, power lines, entire forests. The weight of kudzu vines can actually topple mature trees, and it creates massive fire hazards by building up layers of dead material. Entire ecosystems disappear under kudzu blankets. The USDA estimates kudzu costs the U.S. economy $500 million annually in lost productivity and control efforts. Once established, it requires persistent herbicide treatment for years. Many properties become completely unusable, and some insurance companies won't even cover properties with established kudzu infestations because the damage is so predictable and severe.
Number 6. Oleander, the beautiful poisoner. One of the most beautiful and most deadly plants commonly sold at garden centers. This one's a literal killer hiding behind gorgeous flowers. Oleander produces stunning, showy flowers in pink, white, and red. It's drought-tolerant, deer-resistant, and blooms for months. Landscapers love it for commercial properties because it looks expensive but requires minimal care. But every single part of oleander contains cardiac glycosides, poison so potent that a single leaf can kill a horse. Just trimming the plant and then touching your face can cause severe irritation. Burning oleander trimmings creates toxic smoke that can hospitalize anyone who breathes it. Even honey made from oleander flowers is poisonous. Emergency rooms regularly see oleander poisoning cases. Children attracted to the pretty flowers, pets chewing on branches, adults who didn't wash their hands after gardening. There's no antidote for oleander poisoning, and symptoms can include seizures, coma, and death. The legal liability of growing something this toxic on your property is enormous, especially if someone gets hurt.
Number 5. English ivy, the wall destroyer. That charming ground cover that looks so elegant climbing brick walls and covering bare soil, if only it knew when to stop climbing and spreading. English ivy is marketed as a classic low-maintenance solution for difficult spots. It thrives in shade, covers ugly areas quickly, and gives that old-world, sophisticated look that everyone associates with historic estates and classic architecture. But English ivy doesn't just cover surfaces, it conquers them. It smothers everything underneath it, strangling trees by blocking sunlight and adding dangerous weight to branches. When it climbs buildings, those charming tendrils work like tiny crowbars, gradually separating mortar, weakening brick, and creating entry points for moisture that leads to structural damage.
The repair costs can reach tens of thousands of dollars. The worst part is that it creates perfect hiding spots for rats, snakes, and other pests right against your house. Once established, removal requires years of persistent effort, and even professional removal can damage the surfaces it's attached to. Many homeowners end up needing expensive brick repointing or complete siding replacement after ivy removal. Don't forget to subscribe to Seniors Gardening Advice and hit that notification bell. We're here to help you avoid these expensive gardening disasters.
Number 4. Running bamboo, the green concrete. Before you say, "But I love the look of bamboo screens," let me explain why this plant has earned the nickname green concrete among professional landscapers. Running bamboo varieties look like the perfect solution for privacy screening. They grow fast, look elegant and zen-like, and create that peaceful garden vibe everyone wants. Garden centers sell them as natural fencing and low-maintenance screening solutions. But here's what they don't tell you. Running bamboo spreads through underground rhizomes that can travel up to 20 feet from the original plant in a single growing season. These rhizomes are so strong they can crack concrete foundations, destroy underground pipes, and push through asphalt driveways. Unlike clumping bamboo varieties that stay put, running varieties are literally unstoppable underground bulldozers. Once established, removal requires heavy machinery and professional help that can cost $10,000 or more. Even worse, a single rhizome's fragment left behind will restart the entire invasion. Property insurance companies have actually started denying claims related to bamboo damage because it's so predictable and preventable.
Number 3. Mile-a-minute vine, the speed demon. This invasive vine lives up to its name by growing at absolutely incredible speeds. Mile-a-minute vine can grow up to 6 inches per day during peak season, quickly covering and killing everything in its path. The vine produces small white flowers and bright blue berries that birds love to eat, spreading the seeds far and wide. It has distinctive triangular leaves and small thorns that help it climb over other plants. But this innocent-looking vine is incredibly destructive. It grows so fast that it can completely smother shrubs, young trees, and entire forest edges in a single growing season. The weight of the vines can break branches and kill established plants. Mile-a-minute vine forms dense blankets that block all sunlight from reaching plants underneath. It's particularly problematic in forest edges, wetlands, and disturbed areas where it can quickly establish itself and spread into natural habitats. Control requires persistent cutting and herbicide treatment, and the vine regrows so quickly that treatment often needs to be repeated multiple times per season. Many states classify it as a noxious weed requiring immediate removal.
Number 2. Porcelain berry, the deceptive beauty. Porcelain berry produces some of the most beautiful berries you'll ever see. Gorgeous clusters in shades of blue, purple, pink, and white that look like decorative porcelain beads. The heart-shaped leaves and climbing habit make it seem like an ideal ornamental vine. But don't be fooled by its beauty. Porcelain berry is an aggressive invasive that quickly takes over natural areas. It climbs high into tree canopies, blocking sunlight and eventually killing mature trees through shading and the sheer weight of the vines. The colorful berries are highly attractive to birds who spread the seeds throughout the landscape. Each vine can produce thousands of berries, and the seeds germinate easily in various soil conditions. Porcelain berry grows extremely rapidly, up to 15 feet per year, and can quickly cover large areas. It displaces native vines and shrubs that wildlife depends on for food and nesting sites. The vine is particularly problematic in forest edges and riparian areas. Removal requires cutting the vines and treating the stumps with herbicide. Because the root system can be extensive, follow-up treatments are usually necessary for several years.
Number 1. Japanese barberry, the thorny terrorist. Taking the top spot is Japanese barberry, a plant that seems perfect for landscaping but creates multiple serious problems for both property owners and the environment. Japanese barberry produces attractive red, orange, or yellow berries and comes in varieties with colorful foliage ranging from bright red to deep purple. It's extremely hardy, deer-resistant, and tolerates poor soil conditions. Landscapers love it for foundation plantings and hedges. But Japanese barberry has incredibly sharp thorns that make maintenance dangerous and painful. More seriously, the dense thickets it creates provide perfect habitat for deer ticks, significantly increasing the risk of Lyme disease and other tick-borne illnesses in areas where it grows. The plant spreads rapidly by seed, with birds dispersing the berries throughout natural areas. It forms dense colonies that change soil chemistry and prevent native plants from establishing. The thorny thickets are impenetrable to most wildlife, reducing habitat quality. Japanese barberry is banned for sale in several states, and many conservation organizations recommend its removal from existing landscapes. Control requires careful removal of the entire root system while wearing heavy protective gear due to the dangerous thorns. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with other gardeners in your community. Subscribe to Seniors Gardening Advice for more content that will help you create a beautiful, safe, and sustainable garden.
Conclusion: making smart garden choices. Gardens should be places of beauty, peace, and safety, not potential disasters waiting to happen. The common thread with all these plants is that their problems aren't immediately obvious. They look beautiful, seem harmless, and by the time you realize the mistake, it's often too late and too expensive to fix easily. Before you plant anything new, always do your research. Check with your local extension office, look up invasive species lists for your area, and when in doubt, choose native plants that evolve to thrive in your local ecosystem without causing problems. Native plants support local wildlife, require less maintenance once established, and won't turn into expensive nightmares down the road. They're adapted to your local climate and soil conditions, making them more likely to succeed with less water, fertilizer, and pest control. If you currently have any of these plants in your yard, don't panic, but do take action. For toxic plants, prioritize removal, especially if you have children or pets. For invasive species, early intervention is much cheaper and easier than dealing with established populations. Some plants may require professional removal, and that cost is worth it to protect your property value and your family's safety. Many of these plants not only cause immediate problems, but also create long-term liability issues that could affect your property's resale value. Remember to check local regulations before removing large plants, as some areas require permits for tree removal or have specific disposal requirements for invasive species. Thanks for watching Seniors Gardening Advice. If this video saved you from planting a disaster or helped you identify a problem plant in your yard, please hit that like button and subscribe for more smart gardening content. Ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos that can save you time, money, and heartache in your garden. Share this video with friends, family, and neighbors. They need this information too. Together, we can create beautiful gardens that enhance our properties and communities rather than destroying them.